Good morning, Oklahoma City, and welcome to the Clara Luper Show. In a moment, your host, Sister Clara Luper.
Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Father,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning to you wherever you are. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and I'm so happy to be with you today. Today's program is a reminder. It's a reminder where we were before that eventful evening, August 19th, 1958. And this program is dedicated to all that participated in the civil rights movement. This program today is brought to you by Gates Barber Shop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King. They are ready now to give you that haircut that you've been waiting for. It's being brought to you by your Allstate Independent Agent, Maryland Hildridge, April, and Calvin. It's being brought to you by Hometown, located in the heart of the East Side, Northeast 23rd and Martin Luther King. It is brought to you by NACP Youth Council, a council that continues to fight for civil rights. Today's program is a very famous program because it's being brought to you by Johnson Shardina's Daycare Center, one of the oldest daycare centers in the state of Oklahoma. Being brought to you so that you can be aware of what's really going on. Once again, this is your program. Your program. This is your program. So stay in tune for your program. I would like to thank all of you because you have, through the years, been a part of this program. And we've gone too far now to turn around. So once again, Johnson Shadina's Daycare Center, located in the heart of Oklahoma City. We'll be telling you more about it later in our show. Let us turn the pages of history back to the days before the sit-ins, because so many of you are asking, why is it that every year you pause and celebrate the beginning of the sit-in movement? You ask me that, but you never ask me why we pause to celebrate the Declaration of Independence that had nothing to do with black folks. Because the man that wrote it, Thomas Jefferson, was a slave owner. You ask me, why would we celebrate? Why would we contact you and ask you to be part of it? Why would we stop in our busy schedules and honor citizens that have portrayed throughout the years the spirit of the citizens? Let's talk about these citizens. John E. Green, Assistant United States District Attorney. Lucy Alexander, an outstanding supporter. Reverend F. Rosebrook, an outstanding leader. Rosetta Coleman, through the rain, through the snow, she's been there. Mr. Richard Allen, the state president of NACP. Mrs. Mary Boone, a faithful supporter. Jerry Sokolowski, an attorney that walked with us. Roberta Turner. But let's look, because these people remember how it was before the sit-ins. Let's look. There was a black couple traveling through Oklahoma in 1957 who stopped in Chandler, Oklahoma, and asked to be locked up in jail in order that they could sleep during a stormy night. There were only two restrooms in the downtown area in Oklahoma City that blacks could use in 1957. Both were segregated. One was located in the Union bus station at the back, and the other in the basement of the county courthouse. At Tinker Air Force Base, 3 black airmen filed a complaint with the NACP Youth Council in an effort to find just any place where black airmen could eat in Midwest City. It was against the law in Oklahoma for blacks and whites to use the same telephone booth if there was a demand for separate booths. It was against the law for blacks and whites to use the same restrooms. Bridges said when he was a child. He took a lawnmower and went out looking for yards to cut in order to earn a dime to attend a segregated movie. He stopped at a drugstore in Oklahoma City and ordered a small Coke. The waitress put a straw in it and handed him a dime. He handed her a dime and sat down on a stool and started drinking his Coke. A white man appeared out of the back and snatched the Coke out of his hand and threw the cup in the wastebasket and said, "You cannot eat here. You're the wrong color." Yes, you remember. And if you don't remember, you should remember. If you can remember the Declaration of Independence, you should certainly remember the conditions in Oklahoma before the sit-ins. Well, we will never forget. We will never forget. We cannot afford to forget because it's just like forgetting our existence. We will remember. And the celebration we call the Freedom Fiesta starts on this Sunday, and it is fitting that we start at the Quails United Methodist Church on what is known as Doc Williams Day. On that day, one of the sit-inners, Reverend W.B. Parker, will deliver the message. His choir will sing. Mrs. Bosie Walker will be in charge of that program. Oh, we have to remember. We have to remember Dr. Williams, who was able to get us out of jail. Then on Monday will be Attorney John E. Green's Day. We must remember that young attorney that stood downtown and pleaded our case. He said that we were first-class citizens and we had to be treated as such. That day is sponsored by Mrs. Rosetta Coleman. And she's having an old-fashioned pound cake day. Baking pound cakes just like her mother and her grandmother. And if you want one, you may call Mrs. Rosetta Coleman. But the next day will be Cecil L. Williams Day. Cecil L. Williams' interest was in voters' registration. It's not surprising that last week the NACP Youth Council registered a large number of people. But on Cecil L. Williams Day, the young man had sat up all night at Bishop's restaurant in order that black people could eat in restaurants. That's his day. Miss Wilma Ray and Mrs. Leola Ford will be in charge of that day. And they have selected a salad festival with salads of all descriptions. And if you want to show some respect and some memory of Cecil L. Williams, don't forget Mrs. Ford, Miss Ray's day, and that's a salad day. The next day will be well remembered. That's the sit-inners day with Mrs. Gloria Matthews. Mrs. Gloria Matthews, the owner of Johnson Shadina's Daycare, who's been on the battlefield a long time and who grew up in Oklahoma City and remembered the segregated days. No wonder she's calling for all sit-inners to come by Freedom Center and register, to call her or call any of the sit-inners. That's her day. The next day, Lady Ruth Hunter, Nancy Davis, and Lillian Oliver's day. Although Lillian Oliver sleeps in yonder cemetery, her memory surrounds Letty Ruth Hunter, Nancy Davis, as they prepare for a breakfast at 7:30 a.m. at Freedom Center. Those of you that would like to remember those pioneers, you are invited to that breakfast. They also invite you to a fashion show around that Black History Monument Friday evening. And then Saturday is your day. That's Clara Luper's day. And Clara Luper's name only symbolized those that have fought and died for freedom. Oh, it's not a one-way ticket. It's Clara Luper's day. Because on that day we will remember there will be a parade. And I'm so proud of those of you that say, I want to be a part of that parade. And I know if the dogs or the cats who are having a parade, you would be there. But what about an organization that made it possible for you to go into hotels and motels and eat in restaurants? The question is, will you be there? That's the question. Will you be there with your presence, your money, your best wishes? And don't do like some people have done me. Miss Luper, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mrs. Luper. I'm with you, Mrs. Luper. Will you buy a ticket for my dinner? Miss Luper, I'm not going to do that. Well, anyway, it will be the largest dinner in the history of Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's Freedom Fiesta celebration. There will be many people that have turned their backs on us, but I would just like to call some names as a reminder to each one of you. I want you to think in terms of those courageous 13 young people that went downtown. Let me call their names. Richard Brown, Elmer Edwards, Linda Pogue, Lana Pogue, Arita Tolliver, Calvin Luper, Marilyn Luper, Portwood Williams Jr., Lynzetta Jones, Gwendolyn Fuller, Alma Faye Posey, Barbara Posey, Golda Battle, and Betty Germany. It's not surprising that the Jones family has never forgotten the NACP. Mr. Alexander Jones supported us. His beautiful wife, Johnny, has supported us in every effort that we've had at Freedom Center because they remember those segregated days. Do you remember? Are you willing to put your memory into action? Are you willing? That's the question. We shall never forget. Yes, we have a race every year to determine who will be the winners of these days. Which day will come up on top? Mrs. Bosie Walker has accused me of bragging. And bragging I do, because I have something to brag about. I brag about the fact that you, the people in Oklahoma, have always supported the sit-ins, the garbage strike, and what have you. And I want you today, I'm going to call some names, and I cannot call all the names, but I can certainly give you just a glimpse of some of the people that participated in the sit-in movement. And if you know any of these people, if they are still alive, I want you to thank them. Because you can brag about your sororities, your fraternities, your clubs, your churches. But remember, I want you to remember the people that went downtown, was spit on, went to jail, was kicked in order that you could enjoy that. And today, I want you to remember Jimmy Carr. I never shall forget when Jimmy went to jail. Jimmy said, Miss Luper, you know I'm not a nonviolent person, but if you say nonviolence, I'll go along with you. And Jimmy Carr was arrested on that hot day. Jesse Carroll, Bernard Carter, Cleta Carter, Diane Carter, Inola Carter, Patricia Carter, Robert Carter. How well do we remember Leon Chandler Jr., Pearl Childs, Mr. G.E. Childs, Carl Clack, Blanche Clardy, Velma Clark, Vera Clayton, Lavera Cobbs, El Centro Coffee. How well do we remember Maurice Coffee, Larry Collier, Wendell Cladis, Samuel Cornelius, Cornell Bell, Darrell Combs, Doris Combs, John Combs, Peggy Cosby, Frank Cowan, Dr. James Cox. How well do we remember Louise Craig, Samuel Craig? Who could forget Theodosia Crawford? Who could forget Calvin Davis, Chris Davis, Fred Davis, Nancy Lynn Davis, Nancy Randolph Davis, Charles Darden? Who can forget Irene Drake, Gloria Doolin, Rita Dewberry? Who could forget? Oh, Robert Dow, Alfonso Dow, Vivian Dow. Who would ever forget Ethel Edmondson, Carolyn Edmonds? Maybe they will forget, but we will never forget. Freddie Edwards, James Arthur Edwards, May Helen Edwards, Vernon Edwards, Wendell Edwards. Who would forget the Elliots, D.A. Elliott, Gladys Elliott, Wanda Elliott, Wilda Elliott, Alberta Farmer, Clifford Farmer, George Farmer, Gaylord Farmer, Harry Farmer, Johnny Farmer, Larry Farmer. Who will forget Sandra Flowers, Minnie Flowers, Zola Flowers, Donna Floyd, Ella Floyd, Jennifer Floyd, Henry Floyd Jr., Ross Frazier, Gwendolyn Fulbright, Gwendolyn Fuller, Irma Fuller. How can you forget? Clara Luper reporting. It's been our policy to salute all of you. Those of you that would like to participate in some way. If you're interested in attending the dinner, the Clara Luper's dinner that helped to finance a program that continues to train young people, then I invite you to participate. To participate in the Clara Luper's Freedom Fiesta dinner, where the people that I've already told you will be honored. It will be at Fairview Baptist Church, 1700 Northeast 7th Street. We have a young man who will be speaking, a young white student who he and his friends have spent 2 years studying black history. And now he wants to come to the scene of the events and look at it from a different angle. This young man will be a student, an honor student at the University of Texas, and who delayed his departure from Oklahoma City in order that he could speak. Nathan, how excited we are about you and how proud we are about you. The tickets for the dinner, the silver patrons are $25, the gold patrons are $50, and the diamond patrons are $100. Our business is to invest in our young people. And during the past week, I had the opportunity to take the vice president of the NACP, David Duplessis, and the assistant treasurer, Andre Carbon, to the presidential forum that they enjoyed so much. They enjoyed so much, I took them to Stillwater, and there they were in the thousands of people that was at that forum. Thank God for them. You may call me today at 672-1200. You ask me why did I contact you? Because I believed in you. I believe you were still in the spirit, knowing that things are not well as they should be. You probably didn't know that a black woman walked into a place on Northwest 23rd Street, and the owner of the store came and told her to lay your pocketbook down. Our people are still discriminated against. And as long as they are discriminated against, we must continue to fight. Where are you? Where do you stand? Who do you stand with? That's exactly what I want to know. The telephone number is 672-1200. here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Calvin, is the telephone working today?
I'm certain that it is, Mom.
Okay.
Certain that it is. But I know that I'm working today, and I have to start the show. And we were sitting over there, and we were listening to, you name the names of those people who participated in
Just
the
some of the
sit-in
people,
movement,
Calvin.
some of them. But then I got to thinking, I said it was amazing that we still have a record of those activities and the things that have happened since the sit-in movement and during the sit-in movement. Little did we know that back then when we signed our little page, when we signed our pages in, that we would one day be able to read about the sit-in movement, that one day that we would be successful in opening up the doors of opportunity and employment, that one day that we would have the right to sit in any part of any restaurant and enjoy a great meal, and that one day we could ride a bus and be anywhere sit anywhere that we want to. And now to see black people driving buses and owning buses and going in restaurants and to see them eating heaping meals and things like that, it makes the sit-in movement, it makes the civil rights movement that much more important in our lives, those of us who participated actively in the movement. But then there are a lot of people who stood back, and you can say they didn't do nothing, but they did a heck of a lot because their prayers, their money, their encouraging remarks stays with us through and to today. And I'm looking forward to the Freedom Fiesta week coming up. From Sunday to next Saturday this time, we will be having a time. You know, freedom is fun, and it's fun to be able to go
But it's
different
not
places.
free.
But freedom ain't free. So we invite you to be a part of the Freedom Fiesta week and to continue to listen and call that friend, call that neighbor, and remind them to be a part of this, the Clara Luper Radio Show, live and in beautiful living color. Good morning, caller. How are you doing this morning?
All right, all
Hey,
right.
Fluky
Where's the
was there.
weather? Where's
Fluky
the
was
weather?
there.
Yes. Part of
How
the.
you doing, Dr.
He's
Doing
part
McDaniels?
of
pretty
it.
good. Doing pretty good.
All right.
Time is precious. Can
Okay.
you hear?
Yes.
Time is precious. Handle it with care. Time is precious. Handle it with care.
Time is precious, he
Handle it
says.
with care.
Handle it
Yes.
with care. Truer words I don't think have been spoken quite a while, Fluky, because time is precious. And if you don't handle it with care, you're going to wish you would have handled it with care.
That's
'Cause
right.
some of the
that's
things
right.
we used to do, as we were listening to Reverend Drinkwater, he was talking about things that used to happen.
Don't
And the
happen
young
to-
people, when you're young, you want to run down the hill, but when you get a little older, you know that you can walk down the hill and still take care of all the necessary businesses that need to be done. So, but time is precious.
And you will be with us on Saturday night.
Yes.
Okay, Fluky. Fluky was honored because he certainly represents the spirit of the sit-ins.
All right.
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you, Fluky.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, when we think of the sit-ins, we got to think of Charles Parker, Edith Parker, Gail Parker, Gladys Parker, Kermit Parker, Maurice Parker, Rosia Parker, Willie Parker, the Patmans. Oh, we've got to think of Reverend Perry, Sebram Perry, Sylvia Perry, Nyla Jewel Phillips, James O. Pierce, Dr. Vera Piggy, Willard Pitts, Sharon Pleasant. We've got to think of our people.
We certainly do, Mom. And when you started with parks, I thought of Park Street, where we at 1819 Northeast Park, where one of the first meetings was the NACP Youth Council, and from there we went on downtown. But we have another caller on the line, and I am anxious to hear who it is and to talk with them. Good morning, caller. How are you doing?
I'm finding you. This
Fantastic.
is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter. The
Okay.
Freedom Fiesta starts tomorrow with Doc Williams Day, where Ms. Bosie Walker is in charge. And I ask that everyone comes and supports us throughout the entire Freedom Fiesta week. The NAACP Youth Council meetings are every Monday night at 7 o'clock, and I guarantee that you will learn something new. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter.
Thank you. Thank you, Coco.
Fantastic, Coco. Thank you.
Oh, when we think of the sit-ins, we have to think of Jean Wormsley, Sunita Watson, Esther Watson, Mary Watson, Sharon Wedgeworth, Linda Webb, Reverend J.C. West. We have to think of Sylvester Smith. We have to think of Cathedral Smith, Wayne Shannon, Jack Shaw, Oh, we have to do some thinking. And we shall never forget these people.
Well, let's remind everyone that this part of the program is being brought to you by a sit-inner herself, a young lady that was one of the original 13 sit-inners, and that is Marilyn Hildren. Marilyn Hildren is currently with Allstate Insurance. Her office is located at 730 West Britton Road. The phone number there is 843-0811. Marilyn not only will help you with your life insurance, but your home insurance, your automobile insurance, your motorcycle insurance, your helicopter insurance, your boat insurance, any of your insurance needs. Marilyn Hildren, Allstate Insurance. Good things happen when you listen to the Clara Luper radio show, and we want you to make sure that you and your whole block and the people in the back of your house, everybody is staying close to that radio because we're talking about the Freedom Fiesta. We're going to be bringing some highlights in and some bragging rights that each and every advisor that's working this week will have. I'm saving my little bragging rights on the sit-inners day till after Mrs. Matthews come in. We got some extra things that we're going to talk about. But I want you to know that this is the Freedom Fiesta week. Starting tomorrow, you heard Fantastic Coco tell you, and ending next Saturday. Now, the fight for freedom will not end next Saturday, but the Big Clara Luper dinner will signify the end of the Freedom Fiesta celebration. But the fight for freedom, trust me, will continue to be necessary, and we will continue to fight for freedom. The NACP Youth Council will meet Monday night, as usual, at 7 p.m., and we want you to be a part of it. School's getting ready to start. If your young people need some help in any of your subjects, hey, we got some advisors up there that will be willing to help you with all of your homework needs and kind of give you that little extra push and inspiration that you may need for this school year. We want you to do your best. Sometimes it may look a little dark, and you may not think that you know the answer to that question, or that question is too difficult, but trust me, a little experience, a little time, and a lot of study, you will be able to get through. But we have another call on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show, live and in color. How you doing?
Hello, this is David Duplessis, your sportsman.
This is who?
David, the sports
Duplessis, your sportsman.
Oh, okay. Well, let's introduce him, Mom. You want to introduce David?
Yes, we have David on the line, who is also the vice president of the Oklahoma City NACP Youth Council.
Good morning, David. Go ahead. Let's hear this first report from our new sports reporter, David Duplessis.
Okay. Albuquerque came to Oklahoma City as the best team in the Pacific League, but the ISO Tops left Bricktown with a 3-loss in 4 games. The Red Hawks won 3-1 Thursday night before 4,610 people at the SBC Bricktown Ballpark. I attended the Friday night Red Hawks game. They beat Fresno 9-0 before 5,468 people at the SBC Bricktown Ballpark.
All right. All right.
Hello, Calvin.
Yes.
And Mrs. Luper. This is Lady Ruth Hunter.
Yes.
Your
Well, Mrs. Hunter.
usual caller. And
Yes.
I'm calling to say thank you to David for giving us this information on the ball game on Friday and on Thursday. The Red Hawks seem to be stepping out now. So I want to say my hat's off to the Red Hawks. If he told you he's witnessed the game on Thursday
Mrs. Hanna,
Yes.
you better get on what you're going to do on your day when Clara defeats you.
Well, that's I wanted to tell them on Friday, which will be this coming Friday. And as I look at the calendar, it's on the 22nd, Friday the 22nd. You will be favored with a wonderful breakfast, so I know you do not want to cook Friday morning. You ladies, send your husbands on out to the Freedom Center at 2609 Martin Luther King for a breakfast. Now, you fellas who don't want to be bothered with your wives, you send your wives on over there, and you tell them to go over there and have breakfast
Oh, boy.
at the Freedom Center. And they will enjoy the breakfast. I am more than sure. So this will be something that you have done, and you only do this once a year. Then following our breakfast on Friday morning, in that afternoon at 7 o'clock, we will have another program. And then you will see a fashion show with a short program. And you will see what is new on the market for young people to wear back to school, because school is opening now. Everybody's getting ready to go back to school. And I know you want to see what the tradition is hopefully that the tradition has changed. So now if you don't take the daily paper, you won't know. So come on out Friday night and witness the fashion show. We will also have the crowning of the queen and the king and the prince and the princess. We have a fiesta queen and we have a fiesta king. We have a fiesta queen, princess, and we'll have a fiesta prince. Come out and see who it is. And we will have some wonderful, wonderful door prizes that you'll thoroughly enjoy. So on Friday, mark your calendar, Friday the 22nd. And come out to the Freedom Center to the Lillian Oliver, Nancy Davis, and Lady Ruth Hunter's breakfast and carnation and fashion show. You've never seen that many things happening in one day.
Mrs. Hunter,
yes.
The public wants to know, will you be able to defeat Clara Luper on Clara Luper's
Now,
Day?
Mrs. Luper,
Will
I'm
they?
going to tell
A
the
simple
public,
answer.
I'm going to give to beat her in any activity.
We didn't really between the $3 and some dollars at times. Well, the churches are very kind because our girls keep moving, and we've got to stop thinking about those people that participated in the singings. Reverend H.A. Walker, John Walker, Larry Walker, Lily Ruth Walker, Mildred Walker, Brenda Wallace, Alice Wallace, Ruth Wallace, Geraldine Wallace, Geneva Walmsley, Jean Walmsley, Samira Watson, Esther Watson, Mary Watson, Sharon Ridgewood, Linda Willis, Reverend J.C. Willis. How can we forget it? We cannot forget those people. We should not forget those. Mama's comment, I got it on his first report. That was exciting. It was different. It was in the baseball. I didn't care. It was good. If you know how to do it, I would not have been better. Excuse me. David DeFleur, thanks a million. To introduce and to give people an opportunity. What is so exciting about the Clara Luper radio show? It's the fact that people like it venerated. Nancy Lynn Davis and others all got less forward on this show. And this morning I'm happy to introduce to you a very brilliant, beautiful young lady. She is an angel, and her name is Angela Littlefield. Angela, it's all you. Good morning, and good morning. My name is Angela Littlefield, and I am going to be bringing the historical monument. The Oklahoma City sit-ins started in Oklahoma City August 19, 1958. We must never forget Jan Hathaway to be a part of the NAACP. My father, Reverend C.J. Littlefield, has always been a freedom fighter, and I shall be one. This is Angela Littlefield with the Monuments in History. Well, certainly I would like to thank you for this moment in history. And your dad is a freedom fighter too, right? Yes, and he was with the SNCC, Students of Nonviolence, was a sit-in group to actually go in cafeterias and to try to get people to realize that what they were doing back then in the 50s and 60s, that blacks couldn't go in buses and sit in the front like we are today. We couldn't eat in cafeterias and lunch places and have all the certain things that we have today. And that we should never forget the fighters and the heroes that who has been sick and died and fought and went to jail for us. Well, thank you so really kind. There are so many people that would like to forget. For example, we have sent out press releases to all the newspapers and the radio stations and whatever, and they don't carry stuff for the NAACP. Youth Council, like they do other people. You can understand that. Because there's some organizations that never touch the controversial issues. If you call into only one person in another civil rights organization that died for the cause of freedom, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, I have a friend who cannot come to the dinner on Saturday night. But that friend would like to have someone to represent him at the Freedom Fiesta. there. And I was the first one that called me and to name 5 of the people that we will honor, and not anyone that's connected with the NACP Youth Council. I will give you that $100 ticket, and you'll be sitting up there with the diamond people. The telephone number is 672-1220 if you can name those people.
We too sing America now, and we will be singing America all week in many different ways. If Mrs. Hunter mentioned the fashion show, we'll be at the salad day, and will be happening. We also know that we'll be emphasizing voter registration this week. It's important. I'm certain that those of you who have paid attention to county events know that you need to be a registered voter. Those of you who have been unfortunate enough to be felons have no fear. We invite you to come by the Freedom Center. We want to explain your rights to you. You have rights. You have an opportunity to have your voice and have your words and your attitudes be understood and spoken. You have an opportunity to make a difference in American history, especially Oklahoma history. You can do it, but you got to be a registered voter. Come by the Freedom Center. Be a part of the Freedom Fiesta. Week-long activities is something there for you. Just come by and get a schedule and decide where you would like to work during this Freedom Fiesta week. You know, we also have another highlight thing that we're starting this week now, and that is the newspaper drive. And you know that we have a container there at 2609 North Martin Luther King, and we invite you to bring your newspapers only. Yes, we have newspapers today. And we also will continue with our can drive, so you can bring your newspapers, put them in the right place. Your cans, have those in another place. And you will be helping the young people of Oklahoma City and the NACP Youth Council, but most importantly, you will be helping yourself. This is a week full of fun activities, but it's a week.
Don't say fun activities.
It will be fun.
It's work. Don't fool it in it. It's work. It's hard work.
It's hard work.
You don't really let me close the movie.
It'll be fun to see some of the people that you haven't seen in 30 years. It'll be fun to enjoy the delicious salad. It'll be fun to enjoy one of those little Coleman's cakes. You can't tell me it won't be fun.
It'll be fun like Clara Luper.
Oh, my goodness. And I know that's going to be delicious. Then I want a good speaker. But fun, like we said, it'll be a freedom. It is fun. But it also ain't free.
Okay, when we think of the city this week as we celebrate, we've got to think of the turning to the bond. We've got to think of Henry Green, Julia Ann Borders, Olivia Borders, Wanda Bradley, Stanley Bradley, Thomas, Larry Brannon, Carolyn Bratton, Marilyn Bratton, Marsha Bratton, Reverend and Mrs. J.B. Bratton, Winona Bratton, Doris Brewer, Thomas Bridges, Paul Binder, Leo Brooks, Andrew Brooks, Albert Brown, David Brown, Leslie Brown Jr., Martha Brown, Anita Brown, Paul Brown, Richard Brown, Sharon Brown. You know, some of these people, and some of them like their jobs are not their opportunity. They don't even look at the NACP because they don't appreciate their own history. When you think of the city, think in terms of Dr. Atkins, Edmund Atkins, Hannah Atkins, Luann Atkins, Jimmy Atkinson, Cordelia Banks, Non Barney, Anthony Barney, Pinky Barney, Tommy Barney, Scott Reed, James, Attorney James Beverly. Oh, I could go on and on, but all of these names and things will be on display. Call me at 67 to 12. That's the number, 672-1220. Call me at 3.